I love the balloon. It's a real personal way of flying. You're one-on-one with nature and you're talking to people down below, and I've really enjoyed the ballooning part. I always think back of 5 years old when I walked out the backyard hand in hand with my dad, and a roaring engine went over the top of us. And I grew up in Hibbing. It was an Air Guard plane. And I asked my dad, "Dad, what is that?" And he said, "Son, that's a P-51 Mustang, the airplane that won the war." And boy, I got hooked on aviation right there. So I headed down the road in aviation to become an airline pilot, like my uncle was, and he's a fairly famous one. And I just wanted to follow in his footsteps. Joined the Air Force for the flying aspects of it. Every air base I went to, even in the Philippines, they had an aero club. And I got my private pilot's license down there in Austin, Texas, and then flew around the Philippines. After Vietnam, I came back to Duluth, and we didn't have an aero club there, but they started one within months of my being there. And so I got my commercial license there and my instructor's rating, and ended up teaching at Duluth for a couple years. That was about in 1971 to 1973. And I had a fork in the road though, because my passion was music and a passion for flying. And eventually, because of the cost of training to keep furthering the aviation part and getting a little older and getting married, I needed money, and I ended up music as my livelihood. Well, music is not only a passion, it's been my life, and it's piano, piano, piano right through my life. I started playing about 9, 10 years old, I guess, and I could pick stuff up by ear. I tried taking lessons, or the folks thought I should maybe take some lessons. They saw my interest, and it made no sense to me. In fact, I got fired within a few weeks. I just didn't get it. So I continued watching people and seeing what they did, and just played out of passion. And I ended up, as a career, playing piano bar through the Duluth area. I ended up working with a piano company in Duluth that they needed a piano technician, and I'd learned that trade through the company. And so my career was playing the piano. But in 1982, I had the opportunity to play at a resort, and I've been there ever since. It'll be my 35th year this summer at Nelson's Resort on Crane Lake. But I started there in '82, and it was a nice balance with playing the piano in the summer and tuning pianos in the winter. My adage in playing out and parties and so on is you never play what you want to play, you always play what they want to hear. Well, I wanted to buy a balloon. I'd been in a club balloon for a couple of years in '91, '92, and in '93 I purchased that balloon, but I started working up designs. I wanted a piano on it, and I had all kinds of circus colors on it and everything else, and I kept weeding out the designs till I came down with my all-American feeling inside the heart is Go America, and it was red, white, and blue. So I designed the balloon, and then I sent it to the company Aerostar down in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, that built it just the way I designed it. And it's been a terrific balloon. It was the Cadillac of balloons in its day, with the best fabric ever made. And well, I got a lot of hours on it, and it doesn't leak a drop. It's just a tough, tough, great balloon. The thing about ballooning is it's different than flying airplanes, which I've done also. An airplane, you take off from a runway and you go do your maneuvers and come back and land in the same place. In ballooning, of course, it's a one-way trip usually from point A to point B, so you pick where you want to land first, which is a little different than flying airplanes. And then you back up into the wind to get there. So we never know where we're going to take off from when we go for a flight, but we know where we're going to land. The weather that we have with Mother Lake Superior, we call her, she's her own weather system. And I've counted the days we can fly in the Duluth area, and in 1 year there was 44. So it only leaves us about 1 a week on average. And so we grab those days. Those days are like gold for us up there, because there's so many woods. There's a great amount of woods. I get teased a lot about that Johnson, he lands on logging roads, or has to look for logging roads. It isn't that bad. We've got some nice areas to fly in, but they're small, there's a lot of woods, and one thing, you learn to steer up there, a balloon, because you've got to get your landing spot in. But the Lake Superior does influence with the wind coming off the lake, and you can't trust it. It'll change in 10 minutes. I'm glad to be down here and welcome everybody to part of the Hudson Hot Air Affair. Well, the presentation, I've been told, was they want me to do one on the weather in relation to balloon and how Mother Nature affects it.
It's a little windy.
And I always tell my customers, it's not nice to fool Mother Nature. So she's pretty much in control, but you use her to your advantage. Weather and ballooning are just synonymous. I mean, you've got to have a real eye on it to have a safe flight.
Now this is a technique we also use on a windy day, is we superheat the balloon and have everybody put their weight on the basket so it can't take off. Then they all let go and we say hands off, and the balloon will just skyrocket like this.
The winter time is my favorite time to fly. There have been articles written in Ballooning magazine about flying in the summer and all the great things about it. And I wrote another article to Ballooning, and they published it, about how great the winter is. Like, there's no mosquitoes, the champagne stays cold, and all that sort of thing. The winds are better usually, it's calmer, you have soft landings with the snow, everything's clean, you're not getting mud on your balloon. And the cold temperatures, at least for me with the smallest balloon that flies here, maybe half the size of some of the larger ones, I am limited on weight. However, in the winter, I can lift my maximum amount of weight.
You're in the movies now. You're in my crowd seat. I'm the director of Gone with the Wind.
Well, I'll tell you, I think I started around 95. I've been coming about 21 years. The Hot Air Fair is the largest, as I understood, in the Midwest. So we've had up as high as 50 balloons. A wonderful flight on Friday for the media. And we got that flight off.
Skyrocketing. See you later.
So we've had a lot of fun out here. Things that are going on side with the craft fair. My wife always enjoyed the craft fair.
We're going to play a little game here, so it's table against table.
They asked me if I'd play as a little surprise. And I said, well, I suggested then, why don't we play a little Stump the Band game, because it always goes over well at a party I'm playing. So I gave them a dozen songs that kind of went with the theme this year of Gone with the Wind. I did a lot of the old Gunsmoke and TV westerns and Hang 'em High and the Magnificent Seven theme songs. And I'll tell you, one table was pretty hot. They guessed 8 out of the 12. They have more activities, I believe, for the public and those who want to get involved from the ballooning community. There's seems to be a great coordination with the vendors in the local area. The smooshboard racing, all that is fairly unique than other rallies. They've done a great job. All the volunteers of the Hudson Hot Air Fair have put a lot of effort into this. It's been a nice roundabout circle of 3 jobs of tuning the piano, and I give them my card and play a few tunes for them when I'm done tuning, and they say, well, would you play my party? And I say, sure. So I go play their party, whether it's at an establishment, their 50th anniversary at their home, and I got my cards there on the piano, and I see you fly the balloon. So can I go for a balloon ride? Well, I give them a balloon ride, and then somebody sees the piano on the balloon. They say, why the piano? I said, well, I tune pianos. Well, come and tune my piano. And it's been a circle, one supporting the other. That's what I do. I fix them, play them, fly them when it comes to the piano.